Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Tipsy Flicks. I'm your host, joined today by our co-host,
Hunter Getz.
Hunter Getz.
Why'd I
Hello.
point at you? Hi, how you doing?
Because I'm a predator?
That could come off wrong, Gary.
I'm definitely not. Please don't take that at face value. Today's movie is the 1987 hit Predator. For our theme drinks, what are these called? Mudslides, right?
These are Get to the Choppers, but we originally they're going to be called Get to the Choppers with our little helicopters here, but we decided, our
These are
producer decided to make
strong.
mud.
Like Arnold, his biceps. These are strong like biceps, yeah.
Oh my
These
God. Whoa.
These are delicious,
Woo!
but they got a kick,
Yeah,
just
the
like this movie,
straw.
right?
Are you getting some of it with your straw?
I am. I have a
Okay.
strong mouth.
I apparently
don't
don't have
know
a strong mouth. Yeah, I
what
wish I
the-
had that trait. I wish I had that trait,
I don't know how I got that, but I can suck one.
You know, before the podcast, Gary was commenting on my my calves and saying that they're beautiful, and I'm like, you know what?
You've got
that's
Arnold
nice and all.
calves. You do.
Thank you, but you know what? I don't have. I wish I had the trait that you had, which is a strong mouth. Those muscles in your cheeks. I wish I had them.
Kind of like, can we say kind of like the Predator? Is that a good transition into the podcast?
I guess so. I have mud all over my face.
Yeah, we've got mud face right now. But this week's movie is the 1987 hit Predator, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yes.
Carl Weathers.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we've got some new categories for you guys this week, by the way. I
Mhm.
think you're really going to enjoy what we have cooked up for you. And starting off right off the bat,
All right. Well, I have our categories, but not in order. So, do you want to list those
Yeah.
off for us?
well, I'm a first timer for this movie. So Predator, obviously a cultural landmark when it comes to action, monster movies, whatever. So we wanted to start off with a synopsis. And
Mhm.
since I'm a little bit more green than you are with Predator, I will say it's this is why this movie is a great drunk movie, because I don't actually know what it's about, but you don't have to think that hard. It's about a group of army dudes who
Yeah,
goes
this
into
is-
the forest
Mhm.
to basically go on a fake mission, and while they're there is a monster, this
Yep.
predator guy
Mhm.
who's hunting them.
Yeah.
And he basically wrecks their shit,
Yeah.
kills everybody except for Arnold.
Yep.
Arnold
And Anna. Don't forget
and-
Anna, the woman
Does
that
she
just
live?
started speaking English randomly.
Yeah, this girl who's conveniently good at speaking English.
Yeah. Only when
Um,
Arnie talks to her too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Only.
It's the muscles that open you up.
Yeah. That's 80s action for you.
So Arnold, it's a movie about survival from a scary forest monster, and
Mm-hmm.
in the end, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You see, I don't know his name, and that's why this movie is a great drunk movie. I don't have to know his name. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger escapes alive, basically playing some jungle tricks on this guy.
Uh huh.
That
yeah.
would be my drunk synopsis. A lot of
Okay.
explosions in between beginning and end, but yeah.
All right. So my drunk synopsis is: man that has toxic masculinity goes
Toxic,
into
yeah.
jungle to save people, while interstellar alien who has daddy issues
Daddy issues.
takes it out on other life forms.
Why do you think he has daddy issues?
Because his dad didn't take him hunting enough, so he started hunting humans.
He's starting hunting humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't kill other predators, so I'm
Fun
gonna go
fact
hunt.
about daddy issues: I never knew my dad.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna fit that in with every movie. You just opened that up, man. All right, keep going with your
I
drunk
hope to
synopsis.
God this doesn't come up when we watch Star Wars.
this is the worst dad movie ever. It's all about dads. Everything's about dads, though. I think that all man
knew-
problems either come from having a dad who was an asshole or not having a dad
It's
at
like,
all.
what's that quote from Finding Nemo? He never knew his father.
This is from Nemo?
Yeah, he never knew his father. And when the sharks are trying to eat Nemo, and Dory and Marlin are trying to get out of the submarine, and the sharks are telling him
He
like
never knew his father.
he never knew his father. Oh God, we've had too much to drink.
Okay, continue with your synopsis, please.
I mean, that was it. Oh my God, how could we forget? Today on the podcast, our lovely producer and my fiance, Michaela, now has a mic. Can we have Michaela say hi to the audience?
Yeah, Michaela, say hello to the
Say hi to the
devoted
audience,
listeners.
Michaela.
Hi.
Hi, that's producer Michaela, who you didn't hear last episode.
Did that pass the levels on our recording? Because
Yeah.
she's like, hi.
Michaela's got some good stuff cooked up for us.
Yes.
With this movie,
Yes,
but
super excited.
let's dive right in, man. Thoughts on this movie? The 80s were such a vibe,
Yeah.
and this
Totally.
movie represents the extremes of that time.
Yeah.
You got shredded dudes,
Oh yeah.
explosions out the wazoo.
Mhm.
Do you need anything else to
No,
be
you
satisfied at the
need-
end? I just bumped my mic. Oh no. Do you need anything else?
No, I mean, I
No.
think the only thing it could add maybe is one of those iconic like Top Gun scores, where it's those shirtless men shining in the sun as they play volleyball. Like that's all I wanted on certain things. Like I just
too.
yeah.
I did notice
great
that.
score.
Alan
Alvin Silvestri, yeah, great score.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that I love talking about with this movie is like the score's great. This is just a fun movie to watch because you just got these. This is like a testosterone fueled hour and 47 minutes of your time. Like you just got these guys, just badass. Arnold Schwarzenegger, iconic hero of the 80s. Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, for those who love Rocky, and you got all these other cast of characters who went on to become big in Hollywood in other certain ways, like Bill Duke and of course Shane Black, who went on to make a Predator movie. So it's just, dude, such a fun movie.
It's the epitome of fun.
Yeah.
I can't help but think about the fact. So Arnold Schwarzenegger became the governor of California.
Well, get this, Jesse Ventura, the guy with the big minigun, he went to be the governor of Minnesota.
What?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
There's
and-
two governors in this movie. Just think
Yeah.
about it, like Barack Obama was in like the second Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
That's
but
like
only-
how crazy the fact that the governor of a state, California, that could be its own country, is in this movie. Like
Mhm.
that's wild.
But only
man.
one governor survived.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wait, our producer has something to say? What's that?
Say, we do have a president that's in a very, very amazing movie.
What
Do
is
you-
Jo-
do
what
you guys
movie is
know?
Joe
What-
Biden in?
What movie is Joe Biden in?
Oh no! I didn't say he was an amazing president. I just said it's an amazing movie. It's
Okay.
a president.
Donald
in an
Trump is
amazing-
in Home Alone.
That's the one.
Isn't
That's
it
what
Home
you're
Alone
talking
2 to
about?
be
Got
exact?
it.
Yeah.
Taking Back New York or something, or Lost
I
in New
don't-
York. Lost in New York. That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
Well, like
Yeah,
other
yeah.
actors of the 80s, other people fell off after that time. So
Yeah.
Donald Trump's one of them.
You know who didn't fall off?
Who?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Dude, so this movie, I couldn't help but think in the first 20 minutes, is this the best, worst, or the worst, best bachelor party ever? Like, going to the jungle with the boys in a helicopter, and there's this badass monster that kills everybody but the husband, the guy gets to kill him. Imagine if, so you're engaged.
Yeah.
Imagine if for your bachelor party, I set up this whole thing where we have a dude dress up as a monster, and
Yeah.
we all and you get to kill him,
And you hunt us.
and he hunts you, and everyone dies except for you because you're the man of the
Yeah. Oh,
hour.
Gary.
Would you like that?
That seems like a unconscious kink that somebody probably has.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want you to hunt me and eradicate everyone around me except for me.
This movie is the epitome of guys being dudes.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a more masculine moment where it's outside of a guy loading a machine gun, saying some kind of badass quote, shooting into the trees?
Is there any more badass quote than "I ain't got time to bleed"?
I got time to bleed.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Dude, you're bleeding. I ain't got time to bleed.
You got time to duck?
How many all-time quotes have been taken from this
The
movie?
two that I could, two main ones are "Get to the chopper,"
Get to
and
the
if
chopper.
it bleeds, we can kill it. But there's so many others.
So many.
There's so many other good quotes in this movie. Stick around.
that was great.
That's like something you'd see in Commando.
I don't know if that's ironically funny or just funny. Arnold Schwarzenegger
Arnold-
stabbing a guy.
Yeah,
and
Arnold-
saying, stick around.
Arnold Schwarzenegger throws a knife at a dude. It hits him, and he hits a wall, and then
He's-
it cuts back to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, stick around.
Stick around. That's great. It's in this movie, man. Arnold, I think we can safely say, is not a good actor.
No.
But he fits the Tipsy Flakes drunk vibe perfectly because he's
Yeah.
got some big ass muscles.
Mm-hmm.
He delivers the lines perfectly,
Uh-huh.
and you don't need to think too hard.
No,
This is a ripped guy who has been in the military who's got to figure shit out.
Yeah,
yeah.
the beginning of this movie is so much fun to watch. You got these dudes just hop off the plane like they're rock stars. They go into a mission briefing. There's the iconic, the hands clasping. That probably blew out the mic. Hands clasping.
It doesn't matter.
Together in the Dillion.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Hold on.
Ready? Right, we're gonna do this. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gary, you son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch. And then we have to arm wrestle.
What's wrong? Been pushing too many pencils.
Come here, man. That is I wish that myself and my male friends greeted each other like that.
I know, right? Everyone wants to greet
I
like
really
that.
did.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would rather take that over the
Shit. No, yeah, let's hog arms, flex our seps, and arm wrestle. Like, how cool. What a great way to greet one of
You
your
just see
dudes.
these guys in the middle of the street that are catching up after years not seeing each other, and they're just sitting there holding their hands,
arm
just
wrestling guy.
flexing, and everyone's like, "Oh, what are those guys doing over there?" They're just like, they're sitting there having a arm wrestling competition in the middle of the street, and there's a taxi that needs to come by. What?
So you once again in theme with last week, which movie was Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen this movie a lot more than I have. I'm a Predator virgin. The cherry has been popped.
Oh, yeah.
I have not seen
Wow, that
this
plasma
movie.
caster.
2 hours ago was the first time I saw this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was super excited to show Gary this
Yeah.
movie. This is a movie that, like, when we were kind of going through the list of like blockbusters to show you guys, we were trying to find movies that like everybody's seen or heard of for the first few. And I was like, "Oh, dude, Predator, that's a fun one." And he's like, "I've never seen it." I was like, "No."
haven't
He's like,
seen
"Oh,
it.
I've only seen Alien versus Predator." I'm like, "What?"
Does not count. I know it doesn't count
Doesn't
before I
count.
get canceled.
It
I know
doesn't
it doesn't
count.
count. But yeah.
But now you've seen it, and now what? How could you? Would you watch this movie again?
I would watch it again, but I think after seeing it inebriated, I would want to be inebriated again. But it's so fun. I mean, how many slow motion shots of ripped ass dudes shooting into the forest, other dudes falling, slow motion, like I said, you don't have to think too hard. It's
Yeah.
a very simple plot. Excuse me, as I burp into
I was just about to burp like 2 seconds ago, and I was like, "You better hold that shit in, Hunter. I don't care how
Yeah.
how spicy that
I mean,
vodka is."
It felt like in that first scene where they're raiding the camp, there
Uh-huh.
is an accompanying full-on explosion. For every man that is killed, there is
Yeah.
somehow a building that gets blown
Yeah.
up. And honestly, if you want to get a little tipsy on a Saturday night and watch an action movie, I think it checks the boxes.
I can't imagine
It
working
really
on that.
does.
I can't imagine working on that script and like reading it and going, as a as a special effects person, and going, "Okay, that's 1, 2,
Also,
3,
special
4."
effects person in 1987, they couldn't just type an algorithm into a computer
No,
and get like a Marvel blow up sequence. These guys had to like dedicate their whole week
had
to like
to
one
rig
shot.
each individual. That scene where they're shooting into the forest and just demolishing, like that. The climate activists are just cringing watching that scene as they blow up the forest of bullets and explosions. I'm just sitting there going, that probably was the most expensive shot of the movie. Not even the Predator, not the invisibility with the red screen. None of that. It was just shooting all the plants.
Dude, something that I also noticed, you and I both went to school for movies. This
Yes,
is
we
our
Now for-
snobby hour. We went to school
Oh,
for
yeah.
film.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we actually went to film school. We
Yeah.
overpaid to watch movies.
Yeah, thank God for that degree.
Yeah,
Here I
look
am
where it's
sitting
turning
in a
us,
living
yeah.
room doing
Wow.
a podcast.
Yeah.
But everyone is taught about what's called the male gaze.
Uh-huh.
Movies being shot through the eye of a horny man, where most movies show women being sexualized in bikinis, topless, whatever. But this movie, only the men are sexualized. And
Yeah.
that's actually something that I wouldn't expect from a 1987 action movie. It's just a bunch of shots of abs, pecs, triceps, and
Yeah.
strong ass jawlines, which, I mean, even if you're not into that, I think it actually is significant because if you think about action movies, you think of hot dudes fighting and cute girls naked. But this movie just has hot dudes fighting and naked,
Yeah.
which it's so different.
I'll give you one. So I was thinking about this as we're watching the movie, and I'm like, man, either I'm just being too critical or I'm a pretentious asshole. But for me, the movie kind of gave me these vibes like this is a post-Vietnam War movie, right? This is like into the 80s, late 80s. We're out of Vietnam 15 years. This is like kind of showcasing like, this American patriotism of going into another country and fighting, right? And no one is equipped to fight that one conflict, right? There's instead of the Predator, it's a siege or a battle or a piece of machinery that is eradicating people, and like no one's dealt no one is equipped to deal with this certain issue. No human being goes into war knowing exactly what they're going to deal with unless they're highly trained. And even then, if they're highly trained, they get eradicated. So it's just, for me, it was like, okay, this could be a common, some subtle comment on the Vietnam War, but maybe I'm just overplaying it because I am a pretentious asshole, and it's just a fun movie about
we need
ripped
pretentious
guys.
asshole. That's my next question. I wanted to ask you, like, thematically, do you think it's any deeper than a movie about ripped dudes killing a monster? I mean, I think that people in the 80s were living with a lot of trauma from the Cold War and from the Vietnam
Yeah,
War.
100%.
So, I mean, even if they didn't think about it, they were probably writing that into their script. So if you were to kind of nail down thematically what the movie is getting at, what do you think you would land at?
That's a toughie.
You got some alcohol in you. I know that's kind of a
there's
tough,
a lot of alcohol
it's kind of a
flowing
tough
through these
question
veins right now.
but-
So let me add a little bit more before I answer
Yeah.
this.
Let me say, his 100 drinks his drink. I don't think I've ever seen a more masculine thing than Arnold Schwarzenegger aiming and shooting a gun with one arm. You
So
might as well
cool.
just whip it out. I mean, his bicep is like the size of two of my skulls, and
Dude, I gained a muscle watching this movie. I think I gained
really
like a little, like that thing in SpongeBob where the guy is hunting SpongeBob in the movie, and he's like,
when he's like chocolate.
"This is a
that
real
guy.
muscle, about real mustache," and he's like, and he goes, "Pff." That's what my muscle did watching Arnie. It was like,
Do you ever find yourself doing that thing where you see ripped men on screen and you get really defensive?
yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, he could have done that without steroids. No way he could have done that. Like, I'm a regular guy. This guy broke the law. When really we're just jealous of people who look like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I remember being like 8 years old and watching Stallone movies and going, I'm going to look like that. You know what? I'm going to look like that and everyone's going to fear me. And then...
It worked out for you better than me, I will say.
No. That's a solid NO for me, my dog.
Let me rewind. Okay, we're asking about the theme of the movie before you take a trip.
Yeah,
Thematically,
I
what
mean,
does Drunk Contra think this movie is saying about society, bro?
well, I said my post-Vietnam War
Yeah.
theme, but I mean, I think the movie's just generally about like no one is prepared for anything. I mean, that's I think that's a good quote. I think that's just a solid solid theme. I bet alcohol, you're right there. I think the movie's just about never being prepared for anything. Even if it's an extraterrestrial that likes to hold up your skull as a trophy.
This movie obviously spawned a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you
Yeah.
can tell by the fact that we have literal merchandise on the table in front of us, this movie spawned probably closer to 10 movies now.
If you don't count AVP,
If you count Alien vs Predator,
it's about 4 movies.
4?
Yeah, there was a recent one that came out like in 2018.
we have the Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and the Predator. That's
Predator.
not even including Alien vs Predator.
No, those are 2. But I mean, if you're a super fucking fan that has nerdy interests and you're a geek like me and you just fantasize about comic books, there is plenty of Predator stuff.
Plenty of Predator
So,
stuff. No,
Yes, I'm a geek. Get the fuck over it. I love talking about
let
this
me
shit.
say,
It's 2021. I can talk about this now.
Hunter's a nerd. If you guys didn't tune in for Nerd Thoughts,
Yeah.
go to the other podcast. But I wanted to ask you, like, if we're gonna okay, so last week's movie was also a massive blockbuster, Jaws.
Mhm.
The only fault that this movie has is, I guess, you could maybe ask for the story to be a little bit more engaging and the characters
Sure.
and the themes to be a little bit more engaging. But
Yeah.
I loved watching this movie for the first time because it was fun. But Jaws or other big action movies might have some characters we can identify with a little bit more
Sure,
as
yeah.
a viewer. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I would say it filled the void that I expected
Mm-hmm.
and wanted it to in the hour and whatever 47 minutes it was. I wanted to
Right.
see people in the jungle getting killed and killing things, and I wanted to
Right.
see, usually you want hot women, but I saw hot men and I was like, honestly, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's cool is like all races, ethnicities, genders, life forms are
A
represented in
weirdly
this
diverse
movie.
movie for 87.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, there's an actual female character, and even though she doesn't have much to do with, she doesn't really progress the plot in certain areas. It was nice to see a member that wasn't picked off and wasn't a woman, and there wasn't a black guy as the first victim of this
I was
movie.
gonna say I was like waiting for the black guy to die first because it was an
Right.
80s action movie. We didn't have that. There were two
No.
white dudes who died before any person
Yeah,
of color
and
died.
Carl Weathers put up a fight at the end, man. You know, he really he lost an arm and still kept trying to fight. So,
Yeah,
and Anna survives too. Yeah, I think that's Guatemala or South America. She's of some other ethnicity, and she's a woman, and that's very rare to see in a movie in the 80s. But of course,
Yeah.
you get your male protagonist. It's like the
I
protector.
think what's tough is that Arnold, God bless you, Arnold, but is probably the least talented and engaging actor in the whole movie
Really,
to me.
really.
Everyone, I mean, he delivers his lines well, but he's one note, whereas the other actors, I feel like you can sense a little bit more of the character behind the actor. Though Arnold is, I mean, he gives me what I wanted, but I'm just like, personally think he's probably the weakest actor in the movie.
Really? Wow,
Yeah.
that's a statement, my man. That's
I do.
Oh man, I don't know.
We're gonna fight after this.
Are
podcast.
you debating that Arnold is the weakest over the guy that makes jokes about vaginas?
Shane Black?
Shane Black, yeah.
I think Shane Black is funnier than
Hawkins?
Arnold. Well, I don't know. Arnold is like unintentionally funny, whereas Shane Black tells a joke about like an echo in the big like uterus. That's kind of funny. I mean, the joke is very dated, but I was laughing because I couldn't believe it. But
Yeah,
Arnold
I like the first delivery. It's just like the actor Sonny who plays Billy is just kind of like doesn't show any emotion. Like it doesn't reciprocate like the joke at all. Like there's no confirmation that the joke was good or bad.
he just like
stares
looks at him and stares at him.
And then the second time after this massive firefight where people are being blown up and shot, he's just he goes for it again. He's like, this is the time. We were just went through this, you know, massive, like this incredibly stressful moment, and I'm gonna throw this uterus joke again, and it's gonna land, and it lands. It's like, what the
he's
hell?
that one guy. Every guy has a group of guy friends, and there's one guy who thinks there's always like a perfect time to insert like a really problematic joke, and everyone is kind of like,
Yeah,
he means well, but that's just not it, bro.
bro, that vodka.
Every group of guys has a guy friend who thinks it's funny to joke about a vagina, and it's like, come on, dude. We're not even talking. Come on,
yeah,
no.
that doesn't work, man.
That's Shane
Like,
Black, who,
yeah.
by the way, has gone on to write several very successful.
Yeah,
movies,
Lethal Weapon,
but-
The Nice Guys, just a few
Yeah.
of the movies he's made. So
yeah. So as I almost spill my drink, I think it might
you're
be
gonna pull me, dude.
might be a good time to get into some of our new categories.
Yes,
that we
let's
have for you
do it.
guys
So
this week.
I am excited to share one for you guys. So we're gonna be sharing some new categories throughout this this podcast, and one of them is we did the drunk synopsis. So that's one of them, but we're gonna do another special one. And you know, Gary, you have the order here, so tell me if I'm wrong. Is it the recasting?
recasting. So we're gonna start
Recasting.
off casting a few modern actors in this movie. The first thing for me,
Ooh, more mud, baby.
More mud.
Producer threw us some more
Michaela
mud.
comes in with the mud.
Down and dirty. I wrote in my tipsy notes that the predator doesn't like them unless they're dirty, unless they're like just crawling through mud.
Predator, such a dom. Wow.
Wow, that's his kink. He likes them dirty. He likes them where he can't see them, and then kills them.
Kind of turned me on right now. This podcast.
Sorry,
I'm not gonna lie.
was it the 4 little claws coming
Let's
out
get
of his
into
face?
recasting before I rip my clothes off. So for me, weirdly enough, I would recast the Arnold Schwarzenegger role as his son-in-law, as Chris Pratt,
Really?
because I think Chris Pratt, I mean, he's like a token action hero who can
Uh-huh.
add legitimate humor, not ironic humor, like
Mhm.
Schwarzenegger. Chris Pratt's like a legitimately funny guy.
Wow.
And I would put Chris Pratt as the main guy because Arnold Schwarzenegger still kind of seems like he's in control the whole movie. Chris Pratt, I think he does a good job of making it seem like he's never in control of whatever character he's playing.
Okay.
Like, you know, whatever is happening, he's improvising.
Okay, so
And
you
I
choose,
like that energy.
you choose Chris Pratt. That's completely opposite of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The first person that came to mind was The Rock. Just
Yeah.
this, just ripped,
And even beefier beefcake.
the beefier beefcake of beef, 2 pounds of beef. Stupid. I'm
A
sorry.
double quarter pounder, a double royale with
Royale with
cheese.
cheese. Yeah, I'm sorry you to hear that. Please just excuse that. I make dad jokes, and you're going to get used to it, and that's how it's going to roll.
More like daddy jokes.
Daddy jokes. Daddy Predator. Okay. But yeah, no, The Rock fits for me. I mean, that's a character. That's a guy that just fits that Arnold physique, which is beefy. He could
Chris
have.
Pratt has a physique.
Oh, Chris Pratt definitely
But
has a physique.
The Rock is like roided out.
Roided
He
out,
really
and he
is.
has some of those one-liners, like in the Fast and Furious movies. He's a superstar, and like just like Schwarzenegger, he's like the biggest beefcake working in the universe and in the
Yeah.
industry.
Where do you think that term came from? Excuse me.
Which term? Beefcake.
Beefcake.
Well, here's where I
Beefcake.
think it came from somebody that saw like this dude walking on the street who's ripped, and they're like, "That's a beefy dude," but then they don't want to admit that they're hot, and they're like, "I could eat that cake." Like they looked at that guy's butt, and they're like, "That's cake right there. That's not a peach. That's cake."
But where did that come from?
a
Talking
good
about
question.
ass as cake.
Maybe somewhere in a bakery.
Butt does not taste like cake. Let me just say for the record that someone's butt does not taste like a cheesecake.
All right, we're really getting into that, huh?
I just wanted to say. Anyways,
Anyway, I'm gonna take another drink. 'cause
Dwayne The
if that's
Rock
the way it's gonna
Johnson.
go, then for the rest of these characters, then I'm gonna
Yeah.
definitely take another drink.
those are our main recasters as those initial roles. I think that after Arnold, there's a pretty steep drop off. Maybe you could recast Carl Weathers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have some more.
If you were going to recast Carl Weathers, that character, who would you put in his place?
So my two options would be either Marshall Ali. So if you guys don't know who Marshall Ali is,
Very serious actor.
I mean, he's from Moonlight. You know, he was nominated for that. He's been in another Predator movie,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
And he was just in the last season of Raimi. Look him up if you don't know who he is. Incredible talent.
I think if I was going to do this movie modern day, I would want it to be more fun, and I'm going to stay with the Chris Pratt theme. I'm going to put Tiffany Haddish.
Ooh, we're gonna switch up the
the-
gender rules here.
Yeah, in the Carl
Mhm.
Weathers role, because she's gonna want. She's the one who has the commentary of what the fuck is going on right now.
Right.
Tiffany Haddish would really fit because Carl Weathers is so serious. So is Chris Pratt. I think it would be funny. Also, if Tiffany Haddish was shooting the Predator, getting her arm lopped off like Carl
Yeah.
Weathers does, that could there's some opportunity for comedy there. I'm skewing
Yeah.
towards comedy right now.
Yeah, I guess my other option would be if you're for any of those listeners who are into the A24 world that love A24. There's Coleman Domingo, who was in the last season of Euphoria and also in this new movie called Zola, and he's just got this really deep
Does he
voice.
play the
and
pimp in Zola?
He does play the pimp in Zola.
He was in Chadwick Boseman's last movie.
Yes.
He was fantastic.
Yes,
yeah.
I feel like a misogynist because I didn't, reference a female character for his role. But okay, that's cool.
Cancel Hunter Gets.
Yeah,
Let
Okay,
it be known.
I
But
can make up for it.
That's actually a good choice. He's a really good actor. He's funny, but he
Mhm.
can pull off the serious vibe. for
Yeah,
sure.
okay, so now I'll switch it up and I'll switch up gender roles. I think for the Jesse Ventura role, like the guy with the minigun, who plays Blaine, I think I would like to see like someone in that relatable Hollywood atmosphere, like a Ronda Rousey, who's just like a big, strong girl that no one wants to fuck with, Someone like her, but that's the only
That's good.
option that came to my mind.
I just watched that recent zombie movie on Netflix where they go to Vegas. It has Dave Bautista in it.
Oh, Dave Bautista would be another good Arnold.
I feel like such a dummy. I can't remember what it's called. You guys are gonna
Army of the
aggregate-
Dead.
Army of the Dead. Yes. They cast Tig Notaro as the helicopter pilot.
She
was
would be great,
hilarious.
yeah.
She'd be great as that
She'd have the
character.
charisma, or she could play a good Hawkins.
She could, yeah. Now, what about the woman who gets kidnapped, who gets strung along with? That's, I feel like, the last major role that could be recast. The fugitive character,
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. I was actually gonna say some kind of like Michael Cera type.
Michael
You have some kind of skeevy little skinny white dude. I think Michael Cera would be
Oh god, that'd be a good switch up.
exactly.
Oh man, that'd be great. I can imagine Michael Cera just like, Predator.
Okay, so the next category, pitching Predator as a different genre. As Hunter enjoys
My dirt.
his delicious brownie cookie bonanza with his delicious mudslide beverage. Okay, so
How could you not enjoy that?
welcome back to my channel. Okay, so we're going to start off pitching Predator as a different genre. I want you to go first. What do you think if you owned this IP, and I'm a producer. Hi, I'm Gary. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
I'm a producer.
First-time writer.
Give me your best pitch right now in the elevator. What do you say?
All right, my pitch is, guy with toxic masculinity faces off with interterrestrial threat that has daddy issues and never was taken hunting as a baby predator.
Is that a different genre?
Okay. Oh my God, that was the synopsis.
That was the
Let's
synopsis.
Let's restart.
You're a little bit tipsy, Hunter. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you? Okay, let's
All
start
right. Well,
over.
you know what? Okay.
We're gonna
I
pitch
got my
Predator
genre
as a different
I got
genre.
my genre. I got my genre.
There we go.
Okay. It is a city rom-com set in New York City.
City rom-com.
The Predator.
That's a subgenre of the subgenre.
The
right
Predator is hunting for love and can't find it, and he finds it in the
there. Hunting for Love.
He,
That's
she,
the
them.
title. Hunting for Love.
Hunting for
That's
Love.
a good title for a Predator rom-com. That's good.
And the Predator finds it in the most unlikely place, which is in a xenomorph or alien hive. Because Predator versus
Aw.
Alien, right? So he meets the alien, and two opposites make a positive. So
Hi, I'm Xenomorph. What's your name? Stop it. Oh my god.
oh my God.
All right, if I was pitching
my
this movie,
God.
oh my god, if I was gonna pitch this movie as a different genre, I would actually pitch it as the tried and true origin story, but in a miniseries. So a 5-episode miniseries where we learn the origins of the Predator, from innocent little Dwarven boy on on Predator Planet to man killer on Earth. I want a 5-episode. We got the drama. Obviously, there's daddy issues. This guy, it's always because of the dad. I actually didn't know my dad. Did you know that? And that's why I became the Predator. Just imagine going on
Ooh, that didn't
Netflix
come out
and
right.
seeing a,
I didn't know my daddy, so I became a
so I became the Predator. Yeah, that didn't sound great.
I just blew
Don't
up the mic,
cancel
didn't I?
me. So,
Okay.
if I was pitching this movie as a different genre, I would do it. I don't know if this is a different genre, but I would do it as a TV show,
Okay. Would that be a 6-part, 10-part?
5-part,
Oh,
5-part.
someone's ballsy.
5-part. That has a tie-in right into the first movie, some Marvel bullshit where we have some after-credit scene that leads to him crashing on the planet Earth. That I would pitch it as that. I
Oh,
think
wow.
a Predator origin story would actually do really well nowadays. It would really incentivize people to go back and watch the movie, because I guarantee my sisters who are in high school have not seen this movie. And
Oh,
if we could get a good Predator origin story, we could get them to watch.
I guarantee you anybody after 2005 has not seen this.
Anybody
born after
born after
2005 has
05?
never seen this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Straight
they're
up.
they're not interested at all, which is sad.
It is sad, right? Because these movies don't really exist
No.
anymore.
Mhm.
I mean, ripped guys being dudes, killing monsters in the jungle.
Some good old toxic masculinity. Why not?
I don't know if it's toxic because
Yeah.
these guys, honestly,
Okay.
there's an alternate reality where these guys all fucked in the woods after they all got killed. Because they know that they're all high. I mean, Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger are definitely 69.
If it
before
bleeds,
they
we can
died.
fuck it.
I don't. Can we say that?
I don't. That's horrible.
bleeds, we
I,
can
I-
fuck
I
it. Oh
promise
my
you.
God.
I promise you, that's not what I meant. I promise you.
I got you. No, you're
Okay.
good. We've got the context here. Basically,
I just tried to throw a quote in.
there
and now I
is
sound like
a
fucking
version of this movie
deviant.
where
I'm sorry.
these
That's
men-
not what I meant.
You're good, man.
I just don't want to get canceled.
You're not gonna get canceled. I think in real life, I mean, if I was stuck in the woods with you and we were gonna die, I'd be like, "You trying to have sex right now?
I'd be like, well, the Predator's over there with his plasma caster with
are you
little
trying
red
to have
dots
sex
on
right
me.
now?
So yeah,
Let's do it
okay.
before we die."
Pull it down your pants.
Why am I the one who's getting fucked in this scenario? Okay, next category, all about trivia.
Oh my God, we got some trivia.
We got some trivia. With
Okay.
producer Michaela, we're going to go best 2 out of 3 this week with our trivia.
Unless she got some bonus questions, we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Whenever producer Michaela is ready, we're ready for your trivia.
All right. I thought really long and hard about these questions.
That's what she said.
Okay, Michael Scott.
I'm So sorry.
I always bump this mic. I am so sorry.
You're
There's a
good.
reason why I'm not on camera.
I'm thirsting to win again, 2 in a row. I beat Hunter in Jaws last week, which is Hunter. Show your left arm. You have a Jaws tattoo. Is it your right arm? Your right
my
arm.
right arm.
Hunter has.
I'm here to
a
redeem
Jaws
myself. I'm
tattoo.
here to redeem myself.
I
Let's get it.
Beat him in trivia last week, so let's see if I can go 2 for 2.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. First question. What was the mud that Dutch used to hide from the predator actually made of? Gary.
Oh, shit, I don't know what. I just wanted to
He
beat
just
you.
raises his hand.
I
just
know
to
that you
answer
knew
it.
this movie way better than me. So, paper mache.
Paper mache.
That's my answer. It's paper mache.
A very mud-like substance, paper mache.
Paper mache. It is.
You know, made from glue and newspapers.
You ever do paper mache?
I think I know it.
Okay, Hunter's
I think I
stealing.
know
That is very,
Very wrong.
very incorrect.
As
Is it
wrong
clay?
as I could be.
Actually, you know, it's not as incorrect as you'd think, but Hunter,
Is it clay?
you are right, Hunter. It is pottery
That's
clay.
essentially what I said. Paper mache
Essentially, both
is essentially
crafty.
clay.
So
Every Pinterester loves pottery clay.
Okay, so
And
Hunter
paper
got it
mache.
right. 1-0, Hunter. What? I
So-
gave you your one.
I have a little fun fact.
Okay,
Little-
tell us a
little
fun
blip
fact.
about this pottery clay.
Okay.
So the pottery clay became. Oh, the pottery. I'm so sorry. I guess I wrote this wrong. The pottery clay became wet and cold, which is stop it. Do not. That's what she said.
All she
to
said
me.
was wet, man. That's
and
all it
cold.
took.
And cold, Gary.
Wet and cold.
Don't forget cold.
Uh-oh.
So it brought Arnold's temperature down, and he shivered nonstop.
So you drink whiskey.
And even when they tried to heat him up with lamps, it just made the clay dry out. So he tried drinking, Jaeger tea. I don't even know what.
He would
tea.
drink whiskey and vodka, and he got
a
drunk.
schnapps mixture, it says on here,
Oh, okay.
to warm him, but that just got him drunk.
Yes. Yeah.
Kinda
So
like you
Arnold
guys
Schwarzenegger,
right now.
friend of the podcast.
Yeah. Arnold, if you're watching this,
We
we're
should have
right
made
there
that
with
for this
you.
week's drink.
Cover
the
us
Arnold
in mud.
warmer.
We got our mud right here. Why don't you cover us in it?
Cover us in mud.
Cover you in mud. Is
Schwarzenegger.
that not your thing?
Wow.
You know when we covered in mud? This has become very sexual, very fast.
I did
and
not
I'm
mean. I
I'm
did not mean for
instigating
this
it.
to happen. I really didn't. But
No.
that is an interesting fun fact. You know what's funny? This was '87. I feel like nowadays that shit would not happen. Where we're like, hey, let's get one of the actors drunk as hell. Maybe it'll warm him up.
Yeah.
That would. Imagine if like Denzel Washington. No, that wouldn't happen on a set nowadays. Hey, guess what? Tom Holland is sloshed over.
Spider-Man is cold over there.
Spider-Man is sloshed by camera air. He's
So
cold.
we gave
Let's
him
give
a
schnapps.
bottle of Ciroc. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, that would not happen.
Yeah.
The
It's
like-
80s were such a crazy decade.
It was like that scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where Leo's like, get your shit together. What is he?
Yeah, when he's in the trailer. All we have to say is and everybody knows what we're talking about. Okay, what's number 2?
All right,
Throw
Hunter
it.
is up by 1. There are 2 more questions.
I get seniority.
Right. Gary gets seniority,
seniority.
so he can have a chance.
Okay.
Okay. What line in the movie was improvised by Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I have a list of lines here.
God damn it.
I'm gonna say Tessie. Oh wait, no, that was Spanish. He
Wait,
didn't
what?
say
Does he get
that.
one answer, or is he just gonna go down the list?
I'm not gonna go on the list.
Okay.
It's what is it? Stick around.
That's actually that's correct.
Oh no!
Damn it.
Wait, stick
Damn it, that's the one I was
around.
gonna say.
Wow.
Not even to get to the chopper is improvised.
No, when he says stick around,
Stick around.
that's not, what comedic timing by Schwarzenegger.
I mean, come on, this is the same guy that did Commando. I mean, he did all these type of lines in Commando.
He became a governor of a state.
Yeah, let's be reminded of
That's
that.
wild. Of a state. Okay.
Throwing a knife at
All
like
right.
the.
So this is a tiebreaker.
This is a tiebreaker.
So whoever raises their hand first
and
gets,
this one's
gets it.
yeah. There's no
No
handicaps
bonus
on
round?
This one.
All
Just
right, let's do it.
right through. All right. Drum roll.
Oh, I can put it in post.
Just put it in post.
Oh, he's gonna put it in post.
wow.
Everybody.
Such fancy boy over here. Put it in post. All right. How much did the Predator costume weigh? Hunter had his hand up
200
first.
pounds.
200.
Around 200 pounds.
About 202 pounds.
220.
I'm gonna
It's
take
around 200
a
pounds.
Price is right here.
I'm so sorry, Gary, but it was over 200
You nerd. You nerd.
Yes, I got it. Predator
Yeah,
costume weighed 200
Kevin Peter
pounds.
Hall had to be connected to a bungee rig to enable him from.
Kevin Peter Hall had to weigh 200 pounds.
200 pounds. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Around,
That's actually.
Wait, I actually had another one.
Ooh.
Another trivia question.
So do I get to answer this one just for like a gentleman's time?
Or is it first?
Yeah, actually, if you want. Okay, it can be for whatever.
Don't get greedy,
whatever.
Hunter.
It's just actually like an interesting fact that I thought
am
that was
greedy.
pretty crazy. Like
Oh,
this is
yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Okay.
Okay. How tall is Kevin Peter Hall? Hunter.
7 feet 2 inches.
It says 7'3" on Wikipedia, but
Which one is
pretty
Kevin
dang
Peter Hall?
close.
One's the play. He's the actor, the stunt performer that plays the Predator.
Really?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
7'3".
Yeah.
That's
he's a really tall guy.
guy.
So like the
Yeah, he's-
for all my NBA fans, like the
Yeah,
height
he used to
of
hang out with NBA.
Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to hang out with NBA guys.
Really?
Yeah. So fun fact: in Predator 2, there's a bunch of Predators, and to get the look of them being so big, they brought in all the LA Lakers for that final scene in the movie. For those who don't know it,
That's awesome.
and they're really tall guys, and you see Danny Glover just surrounded by all these like super tall fucking guys.
You're a racist.
Where did that come from?
What do you mean tall guys?
I'm,
Excuse me?
I'm height shaming you.
height shaming.
Yeah.
Straight up. If I was 7'3", I would have made something of myself. My dad, I wouldn't have.
Oh my God! Another
Oh.
dad joke.
Damn, that's crazy. 7'3".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty
wow,
tall.
Wow, wow. So
Yeah.
I
That's
want to
like-
lead us out here. I want all three of us to do our Predator impression. Ladies
Okay.
first, as always.
Oh,
Ooh.
please.
Producer Michaela's
Oh,
gonna give us her
please.
best Predator impression. Go for it.
Actually, I really would like you guys to go first.
Okay, fine. I'll go first because I was the one who introduced this segment.
You're gonna beat us. I can already tell.
That's my Predator impression. All the liquid was sitting perfectly in the back of my throat for that. I thought that was pretty good. All right, we're gonna have Hunter go next.
I'm loading.
He's leaking in his mouth right now.
Yes, yes. All right.
Come a little bit closer to your mic. Sounds like you're shitting.
Now I can do that as a predator.
Last but not least, producer Michaela.
All right. Let me get my
Get yourself
myself
right
ready.
over there.
Okay, here we go.
Get it.
Hey
she's-
guys,
You actually had it.
sorry, I had a frog in my throat. My name is Predator. I'm here to hi.
Welcome to my podcast. My name is Predator.
Welcome to my
I'm
ASMR
sorry.
channel. My name is Predator. I'm here to whisper for you guys.
Hi,
That's
welcome back
awesome.
to Interstellar ASMR. Today, myself, the
My
Predator.
name is Predator. I'm here to give you guys. Well, thank you all for tuning in to our second episode of Tipsy
Oh, but Gary,
Flakes.
I have one more thing for you.
Let me rewind.
So you've now seen this movie, so now you understand
I understand things.
this. Oh, our helicopters.
I went to UCLA. I
the
understand a lot of
chopper went
things.
down. You now have seen this movie, so now you understand this meme.
The meme. Oh.
Yes,
For
yes.
anybody who doesn't know,
Yes.
Aww.
in the first 10 minutes of the movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers handshake, as we did in the beginning of the podcast, where they basically arm wrestle. But Hunter showed me a little meme, and he was Schwarzenegger, and I was Carl Weathers.
Shall we show them? All right.
Yeah, let's show them. One,
Do it.
two,
Do it. Do it.
Gary, Hunter, Tipsy Flicks.
Tipsy Flicks.
You're
Thank you
pushing
guys
too
for
much
tuning in.
pencils.
What's
This has
wrong, Gary?
been-
Been pushing too many pencils this year.
Come on, come here.
No, okay,
Ah.
okay.
Thank you guys for tuning
All
in.
right.
We'll see y'all next week with the new movie.
All right. And we've got our quote. We got to do our quote at the end.
Favorite quote?
Favorite quote.
Or the quote?
All right. On 3, the
Wait,
quote. The quote.
What's the quote?
Chopper.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. On 3.
Count us down.
1, 2, 3. Get to the chopper. Thanks, guys. See you later.